Hey everyone, Catch 'em All Collectibles here. In today's video, I'm going to do a breakdown on my experiences with UFO. I'm going to go through every card in the set, except for the serialized cards. I did a mass box break. I've opened about 100 box equivalents, a little over 3,600 packs. I've got a nice spreadsheet for you. We're going to start though with Playmats. Every partner, I am an official MetaZoo partner. I can be found on their website. Every partner got 2 LGS kits, and what these were like a bundle of items intended to allow us to do giveaways with our communities, expand and spread the word of MetaZoo. Basically, we weren't given specific instruction with what we were supposed to do with them, just prize support for people who with actual LGSs that run tournaments, and for me, I'm gonna use them largely to do like giveaways and stuff like that. So I'm a big playmat guy. I'll show you one of each unique playmat that I received in the kit. I did so far I sent like a care package to everyone who participated in my pre-release event. The day before the set release, that I did the box breaks on YouTube. And I will get into a discussion a little bit on the whole MSRP map enforcement with partners and where my mind falls with stuff like that, what I think about it. But yeah, these playmats are beautiful. I'll save that for later. I'm sure I'll kind of just, as I'm going through the set or as I'm going over the spreadsheet, I'm sure some of that'll come up. I did also, so this is the one I'm going to stick with. Pretty cool playmat, one of my favorites out of the bunch. This will be the one, first part of the video. I'll just show you all the cards. So opening 3,600 packs, aside from the serialized cards, I did get a complete set. Oh yeah, one last thing from the partner kits. These are exclusive promos, and I think it's great what MetaZoo did with the partner kits, sending those out, prize support for tournaments, giveaways for the YouTube communities, Discord, Patreon communities, whatever it may be. LGS exclusive down in the corner. Night Marchers is what I got. I got 2 sealed packs of 25. I still have 1 sealed pack for future giveaways down the line. What I did include in my care package, if you bought a box, I gave you a Night Marchers promo, 2 Night Marchers promos. If you bought anything, you got a Night Marchers promo. And all said and done, my pre-release, I ended up giving away 24 of the 50 that I had received, retaining some for future down the line. And then yeah, we'll get to the spreadsheet later. Feel free to time travel it in the comments if you don't want to see the set. Another cool thing that I think MetaZoo does, aside from like providing the partner kits to the partners, is every set they have like a certain amount of cards that are available in Holo only and not non-Holo. So like Men in Black, you'll see it's both a Holo variant and a non-Holo variant. The non-Holo variant gives the opportunity for like players, I guess, to have a cheaper option for their decks. So yeah, every pack that you open, you get, what is it? I believe it's 4 bronzes, 3 silvers, a Holo or a reverse Holo, then a non-Holo rare, which is essentially the gold, and then a token, an aura, and a Terra. So those are parts of the set. The tokens are separate. Some really cool arts on some of these. Got Squonk there hanging out with Chibi, Bigfoot, and you got a sheep being taken up into the UFO. But yeah, I'll go through the holos and the golds and the non-holo golds together, and the ones that every set has its own obnoxious 9, I believe it was, for Nightfall. I forget the terminology for every set, but in this one, I think it's been dubbed. It's not like declared by MetaZoo, I don't believe. It's dubbed by the community, the Supernova 6. So the first of the Supernova 6, which is available only in Holo form, is Flatwoods Monster. And then you have Men in Black Holo and non-Holo. The second one comes quick, UFO. UFO is only available in Holo. You go right to the Van Meter Visitor there. And as I'm going, I'll talk about some of my favorite arts from the set. I guess one of them, you see right there, the Men in Black. That's probably a top 5 for me from the set. You got Gargantuan Gliders, Level End Rocket, This is another one, probably top 5 or definitely top 10 for me. Wakinyan. I don't know exactly how to say it. I don't have one here. I probably should have had one handy for the video, but a large portion of these have like a red ink stain going across the whole bottom. It's pretty cool to have gone through, opened so many boxes. I've never opened of any single Pokemon set. I've never opened that much product, 3,600 packs. So I definitely have a good sense of like what was going on in this. And there's certain cards that I know where to look for different imperfections. I'll talk about that a little bit more when I show what I've sent out for grading from my spreadsheet. Now you've got Hatman, holo and non-holo. Lechuza. That's the next of our Supernova 6. And then right back to back, you got Griddle Greaser Pete. And not only is Griddle Greaser Pete a Supernova 6, who's unavailable in non-holo form, he's also my favorite art from the set. During the live stream, I saw him live for the first time along with many other people who hadn't done many spoilers of the set. It's a pig with bacon skis. How could you go wrong? I mean, this guy, I haven't looked into the lore behind the cryptid Griddle Greaser Pete, but that's definitely on my to-do list. I definitely need to know everything there is to know about Griddle Greaser Pete because I fell in love with him when I saw him for the first time. Houston Batman, pretty creepy looking dude. Mountain Boomer. Proctor Valley Monster. Mini T-Rex. This was another top 5 for me. It's a T-Rex with cowboy hats and cowboy boots. There was actually a promo variant, which I don't have handy, but maybe by the end of the video I'll go back and I'll show some of the promos from the set too. But yeah, unavailable in non-holo form. Pretty hard to pull. You'll see when we get to the spreadsheet. Pull rates, unlike in Pokemon, didn't seem to be flat. Charizard being as rare as rare or as common, however you want to go about it, as Hitmonchan. Across 3,600 packs, I did see some cards that were distinctly harder to pull, and I think 100 boxes, 3,600 packs is probably a large enough sample size to say that it's likely true. Pamola, Foo Fighters, not just a band. They apparently got that from a cryptid. Cryptid Busters. Agua. It's funny. TCA Gaming. I think he pronounced it Agua, and I'm saying Agua. That's the way I read it in my mind the first time I read it. It's interesting in Pokemon. 25 years ago, I played the game. I had some cards. There were so many cards that like I had a certain way in my head that I was saying them, not knowing if they were right. 23 years later now, hearing other people say them the right way. It's funny. I heard someone else, I forget who it was in a live stream, but I always said Suicide when the name is actually Suicune. So it's just funny, like some of these I might be butchering the names. But yeah, Agua, am I right? Is Rusty right? Are we both wrong? Who knows? Supernatural Black Hole, that's a pretty cool art. This is another top 5 for me. When I opened that first box for Ernesto, this is one of the ones that really stood out. Just a really cool art. And this copy, these are the ones that I pulled for my binder set. Very common on this one that there would be like indentations in the back right on the logo, but this one doesn't have it because I pulled out a cleaner copy for my own binder set. Evil Wins, pretty creepy looking dude. Forest Friends. You've got Sparky Slushy. I'm going to go quite a bit faster through the commons and uncommons, not reading off every one. But the holos, I really enjoyed a lot of these. This was another top 5 one. Water Submergence. Just, I don't know, those guys chilling in the waves. Pretty cool looking. Spirit Infusion Suit. Caster Gun. Infinite Power. Dark Shard Meteorite. Static Snowstone. In the 30s, like right now we're at 29 out of 165. In the 30, you'll see you get a lot of orbs. You get a lot of like non-cryptid, non like species type things. Burning Spirit Imprint, Glistening Beach Rock. I'm definitely a fan of 1 through 25-ish more, like the creature, like the beasties, I guess you would say, as opposed to the orbs. Some of these orbs, though, are pretty cool art. You got the Pocket Dimension Orb. You got the Omen Street Orb. You've got the Sunset Finality Orb. Frozen Rain Orb. And coming up at the end, we're going to hit the big hit from the set, the chase card as far as dollar value, monetary value. A lot of people are big on the EV. Once we get to the spreadsheet, we will get to EV, Iridescent Orb. And the 40th card in the set really helps towards that EV. Drowned Sea Orb, Magic Engineer's Oil. I used to be an engineer. And Neutrality Totality Aura. Really cool, a lot of holo, nice art. So that rounds out the golds. That rounds out the Supernova 6 and all the holos. To start it off, number 41, you can't go wrong with it, with an Alien Bigfoot. Bigfoot being my chase card from the set. I'll just call out some like notable ones. Bookmark Blue, pretty cool looking art there. Again, I'm not going to read it all though. The grays, some alien dudes. Overall, I was really happy with the art from the set though. It felt like a lot of fun. Tinfoil hat. It was a lot of fun to go through and experience all these for the first time. 100 boxes sounds like a lot, and people might be like, how could you open that many? You're probably sick of seeing everything. Lady in Red was pretty cool in reverse holo. I wasn't sick of it though. I did have some help. My son box battled me a couple times. My wife. Sky Snake's pretty cool. There's my boy. There's Griddle Greaser Pete, called coming in hot though as a bronze. For anyone unfamiliar, in the top left here, you've got the bronze UFO, you've got the silver UFO. That's like the common uncommon. But yeah, I didn't get burned out opening it. I had a lot of fun towards the end. There was always that thing, Crocodingo's pretty cool. There was always that thing in the back of my mind, am I going to get a serialized card that went to space? Unfortunately, I didn't. I did open 100 boxes roughly. I have 300 left, having bought 400 total. So who knows? I might still get one. But overall, maybe not. The way the print runs are, I'm not going to get into it in this video because I want to do MetaZoo videos like every 2 weeks moving ahead. But yeah, and this one, Hidden Templars, is a pretty cool art. I like this one a lot, especially in reverse holo. I'm not a big reverse holo guy, but that one might be one that I grade in reverse holo. You got Mike the Headless Chicken. But yeah, had a lot of fun with it. Have more to open down the line. Then you get into all the auras, some really cool arts with the auras. I'll let you know my favorite from those. The light aura with the rainbow UFO beam, pretty cool. That's a pretty cool moon nighttime shot there. This one I really liked a lot, Area 51 with the cool sky going on there. A lucky view. I really like a lot of these like full art cards like this. This one, the farm. I mean, I live out in the woods. There's a lot of farms around me. Seeing all the cows going up in the beam there. That's one of my favorite ones. Not big about the city life. But yeah, that is the set. I pulled all 165 cards. I have complete reverse holo sets. And I'm selling a lot of singles. So that'll be the next thing that I go over to. I'm going to go over my sales on the singles and the pull rates, the EV of the box. So that kind of ends the first portion of the video where we showed the cards, talked a little bit about my favorite arts and all that. Next, we will pop up the spreadsheet. Everyone loves a good spreadsheet, or at least I do. So just to familiarize you with what's going on here, you see all the way to the left, column A, the card. 1 through 40, I only tracked the holos here. I didn't count up all my bronzes, all my tokens, all my auras, everything like that. I just simply went for the holos. And yeah, the first column is the card. The second bolded column is the total amount that I pulled across. Where's the number here? The number is 3,600 packs. So if you see right here is what I actually opened. I didn't exactly open 100 boxes. I opened 92 boxes, 3 spell books, 43 release event decks, which come with 3 packs each, 149 blisters, and then no theme decks. What I want to do in my next video, tune back in 2 weeks, I want to break down how many packs total were produced what your odds are of pulling serialized cards, how many of each holo was likely produced, given my pull rate data. But yeah, for the sake of this one video not going for an hour, I'll get into that in a future video. But for now, basically what I had done was I opened and opened and opened for like a week straight. And I didn't have a great grasp of how much I had opened. At one point I got to where I saw that I had opened like a 400 pack shy of 100 boxes worth. So what I did the other day was I actually opened 11 more boxes to get to 3,620 packs total. I wanted to be at, like, it's not a round number, but it's close to 100 boxes. 100 boxes even would be 3,600 packs. So yeah, that's the data set we're working with. I did note one thing interesting. Booster boxes have significantly more holos than most people were expecting. I think most people were expecting to have one holo per 3 packs, with the other 2 being reverse holos. But what I found was about 75% of hits from booster packs were holos, with only 25% being reverse holos. And then when you open spellbooks, release event decks, and blister packs, that was almost inverted. So booster boxes have 36 packs each. The other ones all together don't have that many. I think for UFO, and I'll get more into it in my print run video, is that holos are actually more common than reverse holos, which is pretty interesting, and not expected by anybody, I don't believe. So that has an interesting dynamic when it comes to the expected value of the set. And yeah, we'll get into that now. So there's so many columns over here because what I did was I wanted to be like first to market with a lot of these singles, especially to eBay. So the first place I listed anything was eBay. And I opened maybe 30 boxes and popped a bunch on eBay. And another thing, just to cover all my bases, this omits all the 10 boxes that I sold during the pre-release. This doesn't count any of those pulls. This is solely what I opened for me. And this is what I listed on eBay. This is what is listed as of a couple days ago when I took this timestamp. This is what had been sold. Singles are actually selling really, really well. You can see, I mean, there's some cards like Whack and Yana. I sold 24 on eBay and I only have 7 left. That one actually has since sold out. I think I took this timestamp about 3 days ago. I'm recording this on August 12th. You're going to be seeing it tomorrow on the 13th. So I will show in the next tab too, to round out the video, my sales and how much money I've made back of what I invested into the set. But yeah, getting further, TNT is Troll and Toad. I'm sending those there to be sold as singles. I sent all my reverse holos to Troll and Toad to be sold as singles. This is what I sold on eBay, listed on eBay. CGC, I did do a 185 card submission to CGC. I graded everything except for Neutrality, Totality, Aura. The main reason being that it sells for between $60 to $70, and all my copies had a print line or two. Lots of holo, either a slight print line or a slight scratch, and I just didn't feel like I could get a 9.5 or higher with CGC, and I could sell them for a very hefty amount raw. So I just opted to sell all those raw. But yeah, TCG Player, I've got a box here. I still haven't listed them on TCG Player, but that's what this box here is going to go on TCG Player. So yeah, when you add them all up, the 11 box breaks that I did separate, those aren't even listed anywhere yet, but I do have some spares to list. Here's the eBay list price too that I used in calculating the expected value. But here it is. Flatwoods Monster, Men in Black. You can see they kind of stand out. I did highlight red. Everything in the lower maybe I did quartiles. Everything in the lowest quartile is like red. Everything in the middle 2 quartiles are orange, and then everything in like the most common are yellow. So yeah, you can see in 100 box equivalents, I pulled nearly 100 of the yellows that stand out. Level and Rocket, Lechuza, Agua is up there, Evil Wins. All these cards between 0.8 and 1, and this is per box. So I did the math on what's your expected pull rate to pull like out of 1 pack. I pulled 29 out of 3,600 packs. So that's a 1% pull rate. Another way to look at it, I think more meaningful than a 1% pull rate is that if you opened 1 box, you would expect to get a third of one. Or another way to say it too, there's so many different ways you can show these numbers. If it's 0.29 per box, you would expect to get 1 Flatwoods Monster per per 3 boxes approximately. So a lot of different ways you can look at it, but certain cards really stand out in red as well. The cards that are very, very hard to pull and are on average somewhere between, I mean, Men in Black 0.25. That's 1 in 4 boxes. You would expect the way MetaZoo comes, it's 2 inner cases, 6 boxes each. So you would expect maybe 3 per case of 12. So 1 per 4 boxes, 3 per case. Men in Black was one of the rarest. The Whacking Yan error, I definitely missed a bunch. I probably sold a bunch of the errors as just the regular on eBay. I didn't notice it until like I opened these 11 boxes at the end, and then I went back and I looked, and I was able to find 30 out of my 70. But overall, it might be like half of the Whacking Yans have that error. Some of the other scarce ones, Mini T-Rex. Mini T-Rex, I only pulled 22 out of 100 boxes. So that is one of the Supernova 6. Men in Black, at least, it isn't a Supernova 6. You can at least get it in the non-holo rare form. So I don't know if that is viable in tournament play. But if that is, and if it's something you need for your decks, you have a non-holo option. When it comes to Mini T-Rex, you don't. When it comes to Griddle Greaser Pete, you wouldn't, but that was pulled nearly 1 out of 2 boxes, so like 6 per case. Very interesting thing that I found. I had an assumption when I was going into it, because of my experience with Pokemon. Generally speaking, everything seems to be the same rarity. If you open 100 boxes of Base Unlimited, you're going to get roughly an equivalent amount of Charizard, Hitmonchan, Magneton, things like that. So to see that some of these things distinctly have a different pull rate was pretty interesting. And just for context, this isn't like a 2-box sample size. This is 100 boxes. They printed 100,000 of every SKU. So they printed 100,000 boxes, 100 boxes. It's not 1% of the total print run, but it's 0.1% of the total print run. To get an equivalent amount of a Pokemon print run, say you wanted to open enough Evolving Skies to account for 0.1% of the print run, you might need to open 10,000 boxes, because of how much more Pokemon prints than MetaZoo. And we'll get into that more in the print run video in 2 weeks. But continuing on down, some of the scarcer cards to pull, we got Mini T-Rex, Supernatural Black Hole. I only pulled 20 of those. That one does have the non-holo though, so you have an option for your decks. Then the final one, Neutrality Totality Aura, the card that sells for 60 to 70 bucks. Unfortunately, I only pulled 18. Could have been bad luck. Maybe that one was, maybe that one is, like, per my numbers, it could be a 1 per 6 boxes, approximately. It could be like a 2 per case, but it's hard to say definitively. I could have just had bad luck still. My data size was pretty good, but I heard of some people that got 4 Neutrality Totalities in 1 box. So I only got 18 in 100 boxes, and I heard of some people getting 4. From my memory, I don't have like box by box breakdowns, but I do believe that I did have 1 box at least that had 2 of them. So there could be a little bit of clumping here and there. These aren't guaranteed to be extended across. You can't just multiply these by 1,000 and be certain that that's exactly the print runs. But yeah, really cool to me. Really cool to me to see that certain things seem to shake out to about a 1 per box. Certain things fell into the maybe the 6 per case range. 1 per every other box. There were like distinct rarity tiers. And in the print run video, we'll kind of segment those further. We'll sort them by the number per box, and we'll extend it. We'll make an estimation of how many Flatwoods monsters there were printed. We'll make an estimation of how many Neutrality Totality Auras were printed. But yeah, this is it for now. One thing I will note, if you've been looking at the eBay list prices at all, these are today's prices. These are accurate as of August 12th. Out of the gate, some of these were higher. Most of them were higher. Some were lower though too. Like Mini T-Rex, you'll see that I only had, at the time that I took this timestamp, I only had 1 left on eBay. And I originally sold most of these 14 at about 10 bucks a piece. I got bought out. Other people got bought out. They probably saw that this was only being pulled about 1 per 5 or 6 boxes, one per 4 or 5 boxes. So people probably went out and made some plays on it, especially if that's playable in decks. I did sell my final one though at $24.95. So Mini T-Rex I saw go from 15 down to 10 up to 25. Neutrality Totality Aura, I saw that at 80 out of the gate, and I saw it come down into the 50s, and then I saw it come back into the 60s. So there has been some movement around here, similar to Pokemon, similar to most TCGs. High out of the gate at pre-release, a lot of them go down, but some of them, I think, due to their utility index or due to speculation, are being bought out, targeted, bought for their decks, whatever the case may be. It's been interesting to see and experience the price moves on these things out of the gate. Yeah, from there, the last few interesting things in this spreadsheet. Over here, I've got, let's see if I can get it to actually show up on screen. Yeah, so of these last 11 boxes that I opened, I didn't take note of how many reverse hollows came out of every box in all 100, but it was very interesting to note these final 11. I had one box where there were 20 reverse hollows and only 16 full hollows. So it was almost like a 1-to-1. It was almost like a 50% split. Slightly more in favor of reverse hollows, actually. But then most of them, like I had some boxes that were, one box was 34 full hollows and only 2 reverse hollows. So the boxes were fairly clumpy, but all over the place. Overall, though, as I said earlier, it equated to about 75% of booster box packs have a hollow and 25% have a reverse hollow. I thought it was just interesting to share how wide the variance was. And this was like the number of reverse hollows in each one of these boxes. And for anyone interested in how long it took me to rip 100 boxes, I was doing it towards the end. Basically, all I would do was I would open a pack. I would just pull out the hit, the hollow card or reverse hollow, and I'd make a stack. I've got monster boxes and monster boxes of cards, 36,000 cards approximately in 3,600 packs. So I have like 8 monster boxes full, just stacked high, of the cards in the pack as they came, the same order, minus the hollow. So lots of bulk lying around. At some point I will go through and I'll list some of the commons and uncommons, some of the, hopefully there's some more playable ones that are worth like pulling out. But for now, like I wanted to be first to market and get my cards graded, all the hitters, all the hollows. So as I show here, my original order was 400 booster boxes. And of that, I opened 92. I sold 10. I have 298 left. So if and when I sell through everything I have a lot more singles that I can create. Spell books, I had ordered 105. I have 100 left. Release event medals, I bought 125. I have 80 left because I opened 43 of them, sold 2 of them. One thing you'll see here, and one thing I haven't talked about yet, but I mentioned I'd get to, I haven't sold much product sealed. I had a little bit people supporting me, buying from me before release date, the day before release date when we were allowed to start opening it, and I was selling at 140. I am a partner. I am upholding to MAP, minimum advertised price. MetaZoo sets the prices that we're allowed to sell them. 2 weeks after release, which ends today. Today is 2 weeks after release exactly. You have to hold full MSRP. So on a booster box, that's $140. On a spellbook, that's $50. Release event deck, it's $20. Blister, it's $5, I believe. And the market price is actually quite a bit below that. I think the market price at release was around 100 for a box, and some people bought from me to support for 140. I mean, I was very thankful that they did that. That's why I followed up with, I'm glad we were given the partner kits so I could follow up with them, kind of give them a token of appreciation for their support. So I think those partner promos, they don't have an MSRP of any kind. That's one thing that MetaZoo doesn't allow. They don't allow bundling to circumvent the MSRP. I sold those boxes on pre-release with no mention of getting supplementary items. I just intended to do it down the line from the LGS kits. That's kind of the purpose of those things. As I said, share with the community, and they have no MSRP. So sending those subsequently after having sold at MSRP, that doesn't come up in violation of the, if anyone wants to tattle on me, and that doesn't violate the partner map terms. But now that we're 2 weeks after release, I am able to sell for 80% of MSRP. What that equates to is 112 for a booster box, 40 for a spell book, 16 for a release event deck, and then it should be about 4 for a blister. So interesting thing, the market is about 80, I believe, on TCG Player right now. So I can sell for 112, but the market's 80. There is a little bit of concern from some people, I think, the fact that partners are restricted to selling map, but this is something that, if you watch my video from a month ago, I fully expected this to happen. I fully bought 400 booster boxes knowing that I might not be able to sell many of them at map. I think it's going to be a little bit of a bumpy ride. As I said multiple times in my live stream, as I said in my prior video, I'm trusting the process. I believe this is Mike's baby. I like it. I like MetaZoo a lot. I like the arts. I like the idea. I like that we are given the print runs. I like a lot of things they're doing, and I believe in them long term. So I'm like hitching my wagon to them, being a partner, investing in the product, buying the product, supporting the card game. And I don't know what the future will look like. I mean, if MetaZoo's around in 2 years, 5 years, I think it's very, very likely that these boxes will bounce back north of 112 to where I can actually sell them sealed. For now, though, I'm in a holding pattern on this. If I sell through all my singles that I got from opening 3,600 packs, I'll open another 3,600. And maybe there's a scenario where the box prices don't come up to where I can sell them, but I just keep opening. The boxes are plus EV as of right now. I guess I can touch on that while we're talking about it. So at the bottom, you might have already seen it. Per my numbers, per low list on eBay. And I will make the disclaimer, low list on eBay is higher than low list on TCG Player. I don't believe many people are listed on Troll and Toad yet, maybe none at all, but I'm not sure where the prices are on there. Usually a little bit higher than TCG Player. So disclaimer, all these prices that I used in calculating expected value, and all I did was I did a sum product of the number per box and the price per card, and that allows you to calculate. You can see my formula here for the real deep spreadsheet people. Sum product of this column and this column gives you roughly a $90 expected value, and that's lower than it was out of the gate. As I mentioned, a lot of these overall were higher prices. At one point when I first did this, it was over $100 expected value, which is less than retail. It's less than the 140 I was selling it for. It's less than the 112 I can sell for today, but I'm buying the product significantly below $89.75. I'm buying it for, I know people have mentioned it around YouTube. I've seen it mentioned in different spaces, but so the number's probably out there. You might already know it. I'm buying it for significantly less than $89.75. I'm buying it for a lot less than like 70 even. Less than I buy Pokemon boxes for, around the $80 price point. So if and when it gets to where I can sell them sealed, I'll sell them sealed at 112. Or if I don't know, down the line he might relax map restrictions, he might lower the price. I don't think that would be the route that he would take, given that this was the first set. It was kind of known or expected that it was going to be a little rocky. There's a lot of people fire selling MetaZoo, getting out of it, selling around 80 a box, which $80 a box, I think distributors sell it in the 70s, and then the partners buy it for even less than that. So the people that are selling it for 80 are violating map. I think they're going to be banned. For Seance moving ahead, there's going to be more tightened restrictions around like MPNs only, partners only getting the product, ones that didn't violate the map. So yeah, my thinking is long term, I believe in the franchise. I believe in MetaZoo. I think it's going to be around in the future. I think MetaZoo is going to be a thing in 5 years. And I think interacting with it today, it's cool to be interacting with it out of the gate. It's cool to be a part of it from the start. And I think as far as like a business decision for me, being a partner and conforming to map, I think will be rewarding for me down the line as a business. I'm definitely making it as it's not just because I like it. If I only really liked it and didn't think it was going to make me money, that would be a bad business decision to potentially throw a bunch of money at product that, I mean, a lot of people think it's going to go to zero. I don't subscribe to that whatsoever. That's why I'm not breaking map. That's why I'm continuing to be a partner and looking forward to getting Seance. I'm really interested to see the dynamics around a new release, the second one under the map policy, and to see how that works. I kind of covered there where the market's at. A lot of people, there's a lot of drama around it, and I'm not getting wrapped up in it. As I said, Mike's not intentionally doing something to kill his game. Some people think it might. I don't believe it will. I don't have as much information as he does about any of this. I think he's way more qualified to make decisions. So yeah, my strategy is just trust the process, and I'm along for the ride. I'm going to follow the rules and see what happens, is where I'm at. So yeah, there's that whole thing covered. I did touch on that briefly in the live. People like to get their drama. Most people who get roiled up in all that drama, they probably would have clicked off by now anyways. But yeah, getting towards the end, my sell-through of the singles, this next spreadsheet This is every transaction I've had on eBay. I'm hiding a lot of columns you see. That's like the buyer's address, the buyer's name. I'm obviously not going to show all that, but I have you seeing the transaction date. I have you seeing the net amount. The top one is negative because somebody recently, I did an eBay standard envelope shipment and it got lost. It took like 2 weeks. It didn't show up. Don't know what happened there, but I refunded them 1042. So this is the net. This isn't the gross sales. This is the net sales. And if I slide over here, where am I? Looks like I gotta add some columns to be able to slide over, it looks like. I'm still getting used to Google Sheets a little bit. It's a little more finicky than Excel. But yeah, you can see there, in 2 weeks, I've sold 375 singles. And for a net amount, that's net after fees, $2,623.33. So my initial purchase was around, I've mentioned that before, not mentioning the individual prices, but this order here was approximately $30,000. So of the 30,000, I've netted back not quite a tenth of that through single sales, but this was current as of yesterday, I believe, is when I pulled these. So it's probably closer to 3,000 today. I've netted back about 10% of my total expense on the product on singles alone. I did sell, as I mentioned, I sold 10 boxes on release day. All this stuff was at MSRP. So I sold $1,400, $1,500, about $1,600 on release day. So between release day sealed product and singles, I'm at about $4,500 back. That's not counting to, this is UFO singles only that were shown on sheet 1. There are some more obscure things like, I haven't made a listing yet, but I'm going to sell the coins individually. I'm selling, let me just go grab them quick while we're here. Sorry for leaving you there for a minute. I don't know. Actually, there is a pause button on OBS. Sorry. I used to use Zoom and I used to just pause it, but I do see there's a pause button now for the future. So let me go back to the desk cam. The way that I sorted out, I did it by store category. These come up in a different store category. So I've been selling the release event medals, which are a guaranteed card in the release event deck. I've been selling these for like $6 a piece, and I sold over a dozen, I believe. These are like UFO stamped promos. You get one of these 5. You get one of these 5 at random in a release event deck. And I've been selling these for like $10 a piece. So it's a $20 product retail. I sell this for 6. I sell these for 10 to 12 bucks a piece. And then you get like 3 packs in there too. So that product is pretty plus EV, even from buying it at retail and buying it at the cost that I get it. It's been very plus EV. And I've sold some of these. I've sold about 20 each. These are the blister promos. I'm selling these for $5 a piece right now. The retail on a blister is 5. I don't know exactly why people are paying so much when they could probably, there's probably websites selling the blister where you get the pack and the coin and the promo for like $5. But people, I'm the lowest on eBay. There were people before I listed mine, because I waited like a week to list these. People were selling them for like $8 a piece, $10 a piece. Weird things like that happen in Pokemon too, where you can break down a product and make like really good return. But I've sold at least 10 of each of these, if not 20 of some of them. So there's another $400 or $500. Between all these, there's probably another 1,000 total that I've sold. So yeah, all said and done. As far as net, and that's net. So I've returned about 4,500. I've probably gotten nearly 6,000 back of the 30,000. So 2 weeks in, I've gotten about 20% back. As far as LGSs go, as far as other stores go, that's probably like low. They probably like to see a lot more than 20% of their original investment back within 2 weeks. But like the way that I'm structured, I'm kind of like a weird business. I do a lot of flipping. I do a lot of speculation into things, holding it over time. I've mentioned the I word, investing, now a couple times, but I bought this stuff knowing that, or planning that I might not be able to get my money back for a year minimum. And as of right now, I'm happy to have gotten 20% back. I'm really happy with how it's gone. It's exceeded my expectations. and I'm not in a place where I need this stuff to move immediately. Pokemon has been friendly to me, and I've talked about that before. I've got myself set up in a pretty good spot, but yeah, my whole, to wrap up this video, I've had a lot of fun with UFO. If and when the singles market continues to hold where it's at, I'm certain that I can open up 400 booster boxes, and it's going to come down from here. Surely it's going to come down from here. That's Pokemon does the same thing, Magic does the same thing, Yu-Gi-Oh probably too. The expected value is high out of the gate on pre-orders, and then it goes down from there. This expected value can come down another 25-30%, and I'm in good shape opening the product still, especially when you account for like the supplemental product, opening the release decks, selling the promos. So yeah, I'm happy with the release. I'm happy with my purchase. And we'll see where it goes from here. But I'm along for the ride. I am very looking forward to Seance and how that whole release goes. Let me know in the comments below. Are you on board with MetaZoo? What are your thoughts on the map policy? What's your plan moving ahead with it? I think that's all I've got for today. Is there anything else I wanted to cover? I think that's it. One thing I hope they do moving ahead, I really love their binders. I think I do have them over here. Let me go back to the desk cam really quick. So I have just the Nightfall one here. I really love the binders though. I wish, and I hope for future releases, they get the binders out in time. This is the Nightfall one, but like as of right now, I have my whole set ready to go. I have my whole set. I just need to sleeve them. I want to get these babies in a binder. I want to flip through the binder, and I don't want to put it in a binder though. And then when the UFO official binders come out, remove them all and then put them back in again. So for right now, they're just gonna sit here waiting. But yeah, hopefully for like Seance, and I'll probably provide that feedback to MetaZoo too. Hopefully for Seance, they'll have the official binders out. So at release, I can buy it along with my boxes, make my binder. Who knows? Maybe I'll. I know Rusty's done some really cool giveaways with VMAX Climax and all that, building a master set, giving it away. Maybe I'll give away a complete set with Seance if things are going well enough. But yeah, with that, that's all I've got for today. I appreciate everyone watching, appreciate your support. If you've made it this long on a Saturday MetaZoo video on a primarily Pokemon channel, you probably already liked, subscribed, you probably already clicked the affiliate link, supported in all the ways you can, and I really appreciate you. If you haven't, feel free to if you enjoyed the content. But yeah, with that, I will catch you all later.